So I'm Elaine Murray and I'm leader of Dumfries and Galloway Council. The Council continues to provide critical services right across the region in response to the coronavirus epidemic. We're updating our social media and our website regularly, but we have a new way of communicating with you. We are going to introduce a series of webinars which will be question and answer led sessions on a number of topics including children and young people, business support, community support and staffing issues. This will be your chance to get answers to the questions which you want to ask. I hope you enjoy taking part in the webinar. By working together, we will defeat COVID-19. Thank you for taking part.
Hi, I'm Lewis. I'm in S2 at Kirkcudbright Academy and I'm the Youth Councillor for Dee and Glenkens.
Hi, I'm Halima Yildiz and I'm a member of the Scottish Youth Parliament representing Dumfriesshire.
Hi, I'm Chloe Allison and I'm a Youth Councillor for Stranraer in the Winds.
I'm Linda Bigger and I'm a Principal Educational Psychologist for Dumfries and Galloway Council.
Hi, my name is Lindsay White and I'm a Youth Information Worker based at the Youth Inquiry Service in Dumfries.
My name's Councillor Adam Wilson. I am Dumfries and Galloway Council's Young People's Champion. It's my role to make sure that we deliver for all of our young people across the whole region, from making sure we give all our children, young people, the best start in life, to making sure that we implement all of the children's rights that young people are entitled to.
We have had a couple of questions about safety when schools reopen. It will be difficult to achieve social distancing at all times in schools. Are we going to reopen schools and going against current scientific advice?
So that's a very good question. The Scottish Government have said that they do not expect schools to reopen before the summer holidays, which means that the earliest that any full class timetables are due to be back is August, which gives us approximately 3 months to actually look at what adjustments, if any, we need to make to our schools. Here at Dumfries and Galloway Council, we have been planning on a number of assumptions, from everything from going back to normal to going back with some serious adjustments needing to be made and looking at a school by school basis as to how we can make sure that however we return, that schools are safe for our learners, for our parents, for our teachers and all of our school community.
We have had a couple of questions about transitions. Do you have anything in place for those transitioning from nursery to P1 having had no transition days? And if you're starting high school this August, you normally get transition days. What will happen this year?
So obviously coronavirus has affected a number of routine things that we do every single year, and one of those is the transition. Transitions from P1, from nursery into P1 and from P7 into the academy are exciting, are scary, and can be a nervous time for all of our young people. On a school by school basis, we are looking at how, and our schools are looking at how we can make sure that some sort of transition continues to happen.
Do we still apply for a uniform grant?
Absolutely. Anybody who's entitled to the school clothing grant, please make sure that you get your application in, and we'll make sure that it's considered and that the money is paid out as quickly as possible.
My daughter was due to begin her funded hours for nursery in April at a private nursery. Due to what is going on, we are worried that we will miss a chance to transfer these to a school nursery after the summer holidays is planned. Is it still possible to apply to do this? We do not want to miss the opportunity of her getting into the local primary school nursery.
So our council has been planning for 4 years how we can make sure that every young person in Dumfries and Galloway who is aged 3 and 4 who is entitled to the 1140 hours provision of early years education is able to receive that time. We have had a phased approach to the way that this was implemented, with some of our children receiving this 2 years ago, and on a rolling basis more and more children have been entitled to it. The Scottish Government have said that there is flexibility and that we no longer are required to implement it by August of this year. We are making the case to the Scottish Government that we should secure the funding that has been provided to ensure that we can implement 1140 hours across this region. As we have been planning for it, we were expecting to do it, and we are hoping that despite COVID-19 there should be no delay in implementing the 1140 hours early years education within this region. There are a couple of building works that we think that we will need to complete, but we are hopeful that that will be completed in time for August for our children to start that provision. There's currently no plans to delay the implementation of 1140 hours in this region. However, we will see how things progress, and if it does look likely that we may have to delay some of it, then we will speak to our concerned parents and children about that. But at this moment in time, despite coronavirus, we do not expect to be delaying the implementation of the 1140 hours early years education in this region, but we will of course keep you fully informed.
Often signs of abuse, neglect, children and young people suffering with mental health, etc. are picked up by staff in youth groups, schools, nurseries and childcare settings. Without this face-to-face contact, many children and young people are more vulnerable. What can we do to raise awareness in our communities to encourage members of the public, neighbours, family and friends to raise concerns that can be followed up?
There have been several communications through the Dumgal social media pages urging members of the public to keep their eyes and their ears open for children at risk. The message is clear. It's better to say something than to do nothing if you're concerned about a child. In addition to this, all families know how to contact their named person, and schools are still there and they're still listening.
We've had a couple of questions about educational psychologist referrals and waiting. With the school closed, how does this affect the current waiting list to see an educational psychologist? And what happens if I'm added to the list now?
The educational psychology role is to identify barriers to learning and ways to overcome these barriers. We do this by focusing on research, training as well as casework. Currently, we're working with schools and other sport and learners teams to develop a framework and resources around resilience, relationships and well-being. This is to support all young people and school staff during this period. We are continuing to do casework. At present, we have over 200 files open, and we're continuing to work with the adults around the child to gather information, consider school assessment information, and find other information to help us make the recommendations. On occasions, we do need to work directly with a child, and obviously we're not able to do that part just now. We don't operate a waiting list system because the nature of our work means that we're working in partnership with schools around many young people at any given time. The educational psychologists and educational visitors are also operating a telephone consultation service, and any parent or carer is welcome to get in touch with us.
I have been advised that my 3.5-year-old son will have to be shielded until there's a cure or vaccine for COVID-19. This means he could potentially miss out on all nursery education, which will have a serious long-term effect on education and development. What is the council proposing to do to help my son and others with additional needs that will not be able to return to education for the foreseeable future?
We know that not all children will return to school in the same way. Within our support and learners teams, we're working with nursery and school staff as well as our partners in health to consider possibilities for alternative educational provision and some way of maintaining social contact for children if they can't go to school or nursery. Some children will require very individual planning, and we'll be working with parents and carers together on these plans.
When will things be normal again? And what can I do if I struggle when we go back to school because of lockdown? Also, what can I do if I'm scared to do anything because of coronavirus, and should I be scared?
It is difficult to say when things will return to normal or what normal looks like, as the situation changes and evolves regularly. But it is okay to feel worried about this, as this is not a situation people have faced with before. You might find that you and others struggle to return to school and when they reopen, but the Scottish Government is not rushing any decisions around reopening schools, and will ensure the safety of pupils and teaching staff when school does reopen. Youth information workers from the Youth Inquiry Service will be available for school pupils and young people in the community to offer support in managing the stress and changes around returning to school and working through anxieties you may feel relating to the coronavirus.
I just finished my first year away at university and was making a really good transition to become more independent, but the university has just emailed to say courses may be online September to December at least, to protect people and ensure social distancing on campus. I might need a workspace and other support. What can we do here in Dumfries to help students like this over the next 12 months?
The universities will offer out further support and guidance for courses starting after the summer if they are needing to run them online to protect students and staff, and will continue to offer out support and advice around mental health and wellbeing, and with financial support and accommodation. In Dumfries and Galloway, we have the Hollywood Trust, where individual young people up to the age of 25 can apply for money to support them with different things, including additional education costs, which may help students who are needing to set up workspaces at home.
I've had to come home from uni due to COVID. The dynamics at home aren't always the best, and uni was an escape for me. What support is there that I can access to ensure that my well-being is maintained?
You can get support with your mental health and wellbeing through the Youth Work Services and your GP. Your university should also have support available for you to access, such as a counsellor or wellbeing hub, and most universities still have these available through digital access currently. It is important to look after your mental health and wellbeing, and taking steps to keep this positive can help even while your home life isn't great. Doing things such as exercise or going for a walk, which is still okay to do during this time, can have a great positive impact on your mental health. Keeping busy with a hobby or learning something new can help you keep your mind off things and what's going on around you.
What if I can't pass my exams when this is over?
Exams can be stressful for a lot of young people, especially at this time when there is still uncertainty about when schools will reopen or how this will work. Education staff will work hard to ensure that the best support is put in place for pupils to achieve the best they can when the exam time comes around next year. If you are struggling with your schoolwork and worried just now, speak to your school and they will be able to offer support and guidance about your studies.
What are you doing to support young unpaid carers?
Young carers, whether paid or unpaid, can access support through the Youth Work Services or through Young Carer Service. The Young Carer Service can also offer support and advice, including looking after your own wellbeing, discussing the struggles that come with being a young carer, and looking at financial support. If you require further information on this, you can contact the Youth Work team or the Young Carer Service. They will also be on the webinar on Wednesday the 3rd of June, so if you have more questions you would like them to answer, they can.
I'm feeling more anxious than ever. What can I do to make myself feel better?
Many people feel anxious or worried some of the time just now, and it's an entirely normal and appropriate response to everything that's going on around us. Something that helps is to focus on the things that you can control just now. To help with this, routines are a good starting point. Not rigid routines, because you may well feel different day to day, but having regular things can make things seem far more predictable. A good place to start is sleep, diet and exercise. Try to keep some kind of pattern with these things. Exercise doesn't have to be strenuous. Things like a short walk can help people feel a bit better. For young people planning their school day, many are telling us just now that they find it hard to concentrate, and so it might work to do shorter chunks of work and break it up with some exercise opportunities in between. We tend to take emotional well-being a bit for granted, and we just expect that it'll slot into place. But now is a time where many people are finding that they need to focus a little bit more on it and plan for it. It's really important during this time to keep connected with family and friends as part of this. It might well be that they can also share some useful tips on the things they do to help them feel well. If you're finding that you feel anxious all of the time, or most of the time, then it might be that you'd benefit from having somebody to help you manage some of these feelings just now. You can use the CAMHS DG Facebook page or the NHS DG website to look for local links, but you might also find some useful resources on Hands on Scotland and the Young Minds websites.
I receive one-to-one support at school. Will I continue to receive this until the end of COVID-19, or will it stop?
Absolutely. All of our children and young people who were receiving support from our youth work services before coronavirus and the lockdown will continue to receive that for the duration of the coronavirus pandemic. Our youth work team have done a fantastic job in making sure that all of our services are available digitally to ensure that the young people who need that support continue to receive it. Our youth work team, along with our education department, are also ensuring that our youth information worker programme continues to progress and be ready to be implemented in our schools when our schools return, hopefully in August this year. That will make sure that all of our young people who need the support and advice from that service continue to receive it, and will make sure that we can tackle any mental health issue that our young people has over the coming months and years. As Dumfries and Galloway's Young People's Champion, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing to make sure that we beat this coronavirus pandemic together. From staying in the house, to not visiting your friends, to having to put up with your mum and dad for that wee while longer, you're doing a fantastic job to make sure that we beat this coronavirus pandemic. I would really encourage you not to worry about anything. From the questions that you've asked today, we hopefully have given you some reassurance. Changes have had to be made to fight coronavirus. But the work that you're doing at home and keeping up with schoolwork and keeping in touch with your friends via Zoom and Snapchat and social media is making sure that we can beat this coronavirus pandemic, and that when we come out of it, that we're all fit and healthy and eager to start learning and eager to get back to normal life. There will be many worries that we have, and every day is a challenge. I know that myself, and everybody who's going through this will feel a bit underwhelmed, we'll feel a bit overwhelmed, and some days we just won't feel that great, because we enjoy socialising, we enjoy getting out, we enjoy going for a walk whenever we want, we enjoy going to the gym, we enjoy going to school, we enjoy just being able to chat to our friends or go for a bike run or whatever it is you enjoy doing. We will be able to do that again, hopefully sooner rather than later. But while the restrictions continue and while our schools are not able to function properly, I would just ask you to continue to respect the government guidance that is put in place, continue to do your best with home learning, and continue to respect everybody, from your family, from your brothers and sisters, to your friends. Just be kind and don't worry.
Whilst Youth Inquiry Service building is closed, we are still offering online digital youth work and still offering one-to-one support through phone calls. We do also still have a blether line that runs Monday to Saturday 9 till 9, so please get in touch if you would like further support.